Hello, my dear Kevin, and thank you first and foremost for your patience as we get into all the parts of your chart that connect to your career today. So first and foremost, let me explain to you that this thing here is a representation of the character that you are playing this life, because Kevin has been many different names, races, religions, genders over many incarnations. So essentially, this chart is the blueprint for everything you've accrued in other time, from your lessons to your gifts and the things that you were meant to do in this life in order to utilize those things to essentially get you out of the game or for you to level up, right? So starting with these black things in here, which are the planets, the way that the sky was set up at the time that you were born, but also the markers for the energetic frequency that you send out and the magnetic force that you pull in. This is the energy of your consciousness here that drags you along your path. So what is your path? You are taking the path of selflessness, the path of the artist, the path of the filmmaker, the poet, the what's the word I want to use? Musician, the artist, the person who is led by their feelings or their innate gifts, but also you're a little bit of a fighter, a soldier, a pioneer, and that is what is leading to your second house. Your second house is all about how you're meant to earn money for yourself in this life. So for you, we're going to look at the areas that connect this energy of self for you. Now, first and foremost, your Lilith right here, which is your dark feminine energy. Now, this means the women you attract to you sort of fuel you financially, right? But also that you like that about a female. You like a bold female. But these females come with the capitalistic is that the way I want to say it? They come with the materialistic, that's it. Desires that aid the fact that you essentially wanted to create a life based upon your strength, your individuality, who you are as a person, but also your innate gifts as an artist, or possibly using your voice, maybe in banking, also weed, wine, anything that allows you to use your hands or to build something physically with the earth. Now, keep in mind, these are just the gifts that you naturally have. You don't have any planets here. So we're going to check the other areas to see what this connects to. Now, this energy of self is usually the ruler of the first house, where we see you have this ability to melt yourself into any other position because you're sort of a visual person, right? So this energy needs to come out in your Mars. Your Mars is over here in Scorpio in the ninth house. That means you do really good with researching topics and things other people don't see, like their finances, the morgue, death, sex, inheritances, taxes. This is sex work. This is taboo things. This is helping people with law, politics, being a psychologist, a trauma counselor, a sex counselor, just anything that is helping you use the innate power that you have based upon your belief system and what you have learned in this world. That will be an outlet for you. You will individualize yourself by learning more about the topics that you sort of are already into, but you don't tell very many people that you're into. So in this life, you'll go from learning how to communicate amongst your family, amongst any siblings that you possibly have, right? And you're meant to move away from everything you already learned earlier in life to develop your own belief system based upon what you have learned in relationships and what you have learned by wielding your power out in the world. How do you feel about politics? How do you feel about helping the underdog? How do you feel about being a counselor? Because that's something else that pops out here, but mostly it just seems like you're really, I don't want to say moody, but you are a moody, artsy type guy, right? So in regards to your career, this means you are meant to be doing something that allows you to work on your spidey senses. And what I mean is you have a stellium in Scorpio, right? Beyond, because you have 4 planets in here. You are the detective. You are the psychologist. You are the lawyer. You are the person who is able to take other people's assets and flip them. You are the source of your own power, and your mind is the source of your power. With it being in the 8th house, you have learned these gifts over many lifetimes. They have actually been hard earned, right? Your Venus is in partnership, which means your value is in balance, finding a mediumship in things. And you also have sort of a thing where you like to heal your partners. That is actually meant to be used in your job. You're meant to take all those skills that you have of helping somebody figure out what's wrong with their life in your work. If there was a particular place where you felt like you were meant to help people, what would it be? Because that's sort of kind of what's connecting here from you as far as what you're meant to do. The Capricorn is the energy of your career, what you're meant to do. You're meant to be using your belief system as your business, something possibly overseas, something that is higher or specialized education for other people, even possibly something like this, astrology or things in travel, things in foreign lands could even be the case. But this Capricorn energy of the entrepreneur goes into the 11th house, which means that whatever your business is, you're going to put it online. And that is connected to your understanding of technology. You have your unique genius, which is Pallas right here, in the 12th house, which means it's a hidden channel that is coming through you, that is giving you all the ideas about innovation, technology, what you need to do for the future. And that was actually held off for you until what you're currently going through now, around 27, 28. You are finding out that you have the ability to put something online, something that has to do with technology. Maybe you have an idea that you have not realized is special yet. There is something that you are meant to put online that is going to rapidly change the way that things are working for you. And it's connected to your relationship with your family, what you do at home, the way that you express yourself as a man in your communications. There's something about that that you're not even realizing that is very healing to partnership. And there is a cause in your life that is going to push you towards this. Right now, I'm really feeling like you would do really good with finances based upon this. Banking, if you want to think about a job that is something that's more stable for you. I know that you mentioned that you were nervous about your visa and all of this stuff going on with the COVID, but literally your job is meant to be online. You are the entrepreneur that is going to be able to travel wherever he would like to. Because let me explain it like this. Most people's charts have planets down here. This bottom part of it is all about your relationship and development of self. This first house of self, this second house of finances, this third house of your communication, this fourth house of family, this fifth house of your children, your relationship with your own children, this sixth house of your day-to-day life, right? But this top half is all about things you have to keep out in the world. Other ways that you are having to integrate with society. This is you and your partner, or you have a karmic partnership or marriage with somebody who has heavy Virgo energy, right? Because the wound for you is overcoming partnership, overcoming the fact that you feel like you don't have the perfect partner. That sort of makes you feel like you're thrown off sometimes as an individual because you're such a sensitive feeling individual, right? So that totally threw me off there for a second. The seventh house of partnership, this eighth house of your power and other people's power and assets, this ninth house of foreign lands, foreign travel, belief systems, spiritual gurus, this 10th house of fame, your career, this 11th house of the internet, your wishes and dreams and gains, and this 12th house of the collective, everybody outside of yourself, like the parts you can't see. You are literally going to take the things that you research, the things that you think about in your private time. You're going to turn them into something, and possibly if you even already know what your idea is, you just need to sit with it. But you are sharing something online that is going to help other people with their belief system, help them gain back their own power. It can very well be in a financial way with you helping people flip money or through real estate, or stock market, or brokerage, or it could be something as individuated as you experienced a trauma or something during your childhood. There is some driving factor that makes you want to help a specific group of people for you to connect with. But either way, it is important to recognize that what you're doing is online. It's through technology. It could be a gadget. It could be an invention of some sort. You are going to be a pioneer that's going to be connected to something you learned in your childhood, something about your childlike innocence. Connect back to that, something your mom taught you, something you learned from the female people in your family. Things with homes, houses, clothing, anything that has to do with making yourself safe or comfortable is where you would naturally shine. You do really good with tough stuff. You are all about getting power in this life. This is about taking other people's assets, pulling them into you and multiplying for yourself. Your part of fortune, your luck would be in law, politics, anything that helps you bring balance to the underdog, art, literature, beauty, painting, horses, but also real estate really keeps popping up here, occult work, psychology, detective work, anything that has to do with the dead or helping people understand the dead would also be really good for you. So thank you so much for this opportunity. I look forward to your feedback and any extra questions you may have, sir. Thank you again.